All right, I call to order the City Council meeting on December 13, 2023. It is 5:35. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Campbell. Wow. Councilman Leon. Here. Councilwoman Godaro. Councilwoman Julian.
Here.
Councilman Stevens. Here. Vice Mayor Wilson.
Here.
Mayor Harris.
I'm present.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Yes.
Councilwoman Godaro will not be present during tonight's meeting.
I need a motion to excuse Councilwoman Ighodaro. Showing no motion, show unexcused. Please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. God our Father, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. In this moment, God, we ask that you give us your blessings. You give us your blessings as we continue to move forward collectively as a city. Father, I pray for your knowledge, your wisdom, and your understanding as my colleagues and I prepare to discuss business that affect your people. Father, in this moment, we pray for peace around our nation, peace in our city, peace, love, and harmony. And God, in all things, we promise to give you all the praise, honor, and glory that your precious name deserves. It is in your Son's name I do pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we're on approval of minutes.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I do have before the council the September 13th first budget hearing draft minutes, the September 27th second budget hearing draft minutes, and the November 8th regular city council draft minutes for your approval.
I need a motion on the minutes.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Show that minutes approved. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none. Show the minutes approved. We're on order of business. Are there any items that need to be pulled, deleted, or withdrawn?
Yes. I would like to withdraw item number 12.1.
12.1.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
We do have two add-on items that was forwarded to council. Add-on item number 1, which is sponsored by Councilwoman Shannon Campbell. This is her appointment to the Charter Revision Commission without objections. We ask that it be added to the consent agenda as item 20. And then the next one is add-on item number 2, which is sponsored by Mayor Harris, which is supporting Miami-Dade County League of Cities without objection. We ask that it be added to the consent agenda as item 11.21.
Right. Are there any other items that need to be pulled or deleted? Showing none, I need a motion on the agenda.
Motion.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, show the agenda approval. All right, we're on special presentations.
Okay. There are none special presentations.
All right, we're on public comments. Mr. Clerk, do you have any written communication?
Mr. Mayor, Council, please note that all written communication received prior to this meeting has been forwarded to the council. Those written communications will be attached to the minutes of this meeting as an exhibit.
And Mr. Clerk, could you go ahead and read the back of the public comment cards?
Yes, sir. Article 2, Section 2-60 of the City of Miami Gardens Code entitled Public Participation provides that any person making personally irrelevant, impertinent, or slanderous remarks or who becomes boisterous while addressing the City Council shall not be considered orderly or observing decorum. If any person becomes too lengthy, abusive, obscene, and/or disruptive, or otherwise fails to comply with decorum rules, the presiding officer may issue a warning and provide an opportunity for the individual to conclude remarks in a decorous manner and within the designated time limit, interrupt and terminate the individual from concluding their remarks, bar the individual from further appearance before the City Council unless or until permission to continue or again address the City Council is granted by a majority vote of the City Council, Order shall be maintained. If any person refuses to obey the orders of the presiding officer and is declared out of order, the individual may be subject to removal by the sergeant at arms.
All right. Council, please remember that we govern ourselves accordingly as well. This applies to us as well. All right. We're on public comments. Sharon Frazier Stevens.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. My name is Sharon Frazier Stevens, and councilmen and women, and to the ones that's not here on the dais. Good afternoon, happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa when it comes. Thank God that we are all safe and happy.
Address for the record.
Oh, 145 Northeast First Place, Miami Gardens, on the east side, or the west side, y'all want to do. But thank you all for your attention, and thank you all. And thank you, Councilwoman Katrina Wilson, for pulling this item 12-1. As we say in the Constitution of these United States, for the people, by the people, of the people, and we the people, there's no I in team. And that's what we have to understand. There's no I in team. It's always we the people in the Constitution and the preamble of the United States. So we thank you for pulling this item for discussion because, as you can see, the community does not want a pool. They want a multi-purpose gymnasium. And I pray to God that you listen to our request, honorably, Commissioner Wilson. Thank you so very much, and thank you, council people. God bless.
Thank you. Charles McCoy.
Charles McCoy, 16200 Northwest 18th Place, Miami Gardens. Just want to take a hot minute to compliment the council, the police department, the entire Miami Gardens, and especially the Veterans Affairs Committee for the excellent, outstanding job that was done last month with the Veterans Affairs. That was a first-class event. I haven't really been to anything like that since I left Fort Lewis, Washington back in 1968. It was very informative. I saw people in Miami. We were together back in the 60s, and I hadn't seen them until last month. So I just want to compliment and the police department, thumbs up.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. Gail Cunningham.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Gail Cunningham, 19001 Northwest 14th Avenue Road, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33169. And I'm speaking for another resident, Kathy Coachman Wanza. Her address is 1960 Northwest 172nd Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council members. I am a resident of Miami Gardens, Residential Seat 3. And I am writing to express my support of the citizens of Residential Seat 4 as they seek to have their voices heard concerning the planned parks renovation for Myrtle Grove. The residents in part took a survey authorized by the City Council, authorized by the City Management Office that asked if they would like to have a new pool or a state-of-the-art multi-purpose gymnasium. A great majority of respondents said they wanted a gymnasium. However, that item is not on the agenda as in this writing, Resolution 12.1 does not state this. The will of the people should be carried out by elected officials. The taxpayers elected you with the implicit understanding that you will be their voices in matters of the city. Please pull Resolution 12.1 as it does not reflect the will of the people. The people's voices must be heard. Respectfully, Kathy Coachman Wanza. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a stack of cards for 12.1, and 12.1 has been pulled. So those of you who want to speak about 12.1 is been pulled. So if you have any other items that you want to speak about, you can. But it has to be in general, because we're not going to speak about 12.1 because it's not here anymore. It's gone.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
just to be clear, they can still speak about it even if it was pulled.
Okay.
Because it's public comment, it's open. It's
All
not
right. So
zoning.
you guys still want to speak on 12.1? All right. Okay. Mr. Ronald Harris.
Harris, 17730 Northwest 14th Court, Miami Gardens. I have three issues that I'd like to bring up very short. One is, again, to talk about Carroll City High School. I don't know how anybody could get leaders or people in positions pass that school every day and not think that it's time for upgrade. Not so much in building, but pressure cleaning or painting, because it looks atrocious. Secondly, I'd like to talk about the GOB bond. Back in 2014, almost 10 years ago, the bond was passed, and the first item on that list was to renovate the parks, even though there were some other things. But in going around a few weeks ago, you see that maybe at least half the parks that I saw did not have any major renovations done to them. A couple of pools, especially the one at Myrtle Grove that I saw, is inactive. Rainwater in there. And there's, as far as I know, there's no full-size pools where kids can learn to swim competitively. And lastly, I'd like to talk about an item that was in the paper in July on the mayor's golf tournament. There was no listing of what monies were raised, but the monies that were raised was designated to be given to his house, which was kind of odd to me in that his house is located on the northwest side of 47th Avenue, which I believe puts it outside of the city limits. And according to GuideStar, that organization has had revenues of over $23 million and assets of over $8 million. And similarly for the mayor's ball, which I don't know if it came off, but they also had revenue, it was designated to get money. They had revenues of over $20 million and assets of over $8 million. So I'm sure there's plenty of residents in the area that can use a handout or hand up to help them with their businesses that are floundering. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Vanessa Wilcox.
Good evening, Mayor and Councilmen. My name is Vanessa Wilcox. I am homeless, but I am still here. I'm here today to speak on the behalf of good news for the City of Miami Gardens Council Board workers with a lack of transparency, integrity, empathy, and a lack of accountability. In order to be transparent, one needs to communicate effective, showing and sharing information and making it available to the people. For this City of Miami Garden government, this is a test. This test is integrity. Taking responsibility for your actions, putting others in need above your own, offering help to others in need, giving others the benefit of the doubt, choosing honesty in all things, showing respect to everyone, manifesting humility, and being able to admit when you are wrong. It has been said, sometimes you want to avoid the people who fail this integrity test. Jeremiah 33:8. I will cleanse them from all of their iniquity, sins, and wickedness, and unfavor, or should I say unfair behavior. The promise is we just only want a slice of the economic pie. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Same to you. Thank you. Ms. Hughes?
Good evening, Council. Ree Hughes, 3335 Northwest 180th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. The residents, taxpayers, and homeowners of Residential Seat 4 in the Myrtle Grove community have been waiting for a very long time for the groundbreaking of the state-of-the-art multipurpose gymnasium as voted by the community via the City of Miami Gardens survey. To have the community voices dismissed from a document which affects our community leads one to think our voices were unworthy to be heard, and we were unvalued in this process. When you council members campaigned for your council seats, we the people voted for our candidate of choice. The votes were counted, and the majority of votes from each seat won through a fair process. The City of Miami Gardens mailed out surveys to the Myrtle Grove community with two options: the state-of-the-art multipurpose gymnasium or the pool. The votes were counted, and the majority voted for the state-of-the-art multipurpose gymnasium. Are we not due the same fair process? Council members, do the right thing as our elected public servants and make this wrong a right. For the people have spoken. We look forward to having a groundbreaking ceremony in the City of Miami Gardens in the year of 2024. I leave this thought with everyone in the chambers and those in leadership positions. Become the kind of leader that people would follow voluntarily, even if you had no title or position. For leadership is an opportunity to serve. It's not a trumpet call to self-importance. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hughes. Marion Brown?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Marion Brown, 12300 Northwest 17th Avenue. Happy holiday, happy Hanukkah to everyone. May many blessings to you and your family this year. May Santa Claus bring you the great gift that you all deserve. Next year, re-election. Basically, I came up just to speak on the item 12.1 that everyone had discussed and it was speaking about. You already had pulled the item, but basically what they want is the center and not the pool, because the center actually will provide more for the children. You know, there'll be a lot of more activities that you can bring into the center for the kids. After school programs and a lot of other programs that actually can be provided for the children at that particular time. So that'll be a great thing. And also, the other thing I would like to speak to you about is taxes. So if it's something that you all can do about taxes, because now taxes is actually getting to be outrageous. You know, taxes was increased this year, another $2,000-some, you know, on my end. So if that's something that you all can, Mayor, you can address that, I appreciate it. And with that, thank you all for letting me speak.
Thank you, sir. Theo Williams.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Theo Williams, 1391 Northwest 95th Street. I'm on behalf of one of my senior citizens in this community who is blind and can't be here today. One thing I want to know, the 12 Wonders poor, I think it need to be, the community need to be involved. It need to be a workshop with the community and the engagement and a sit-down discussion where they can have their input. It's sad that it's all over the state now, all over. Everybody doing the business for themselves, not for the people. People are hurting, homeless. We're not taking that. We building every day, but black people's going out the door. Can't afford their rent. And most of the people, before we do things, we need to look at some of these families in shelters. Why can't we build places and put them in rather than these development coming in and building over us? The whole world right now is up in flames. They're bringing everybody over here, taking tax dollars from us, and they reap the benefits. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Y'all being elected, but it's the people agenda. What's on the agenda for the people to speak on? Each one of y'all should be talking to the resident and bringing it to the agenda to put on so they can be heard, not everybody else. It's sad that it's all over the city, county. These development has taken over this town. And y'all wonder why the killing going on? These kids don't have nowhere to go, nowhere to sleep. Families sleeping in cars, being exited out. Buildings going up, rent is high. When you gonna bring the rent down to keep our people in our community? No matter if you're Miami Garden. Y'all got to do better as black people. We appointed y'all, but y'all can do what you want to do behind the doors, but they say what you do in the dark will come to the light.
Thank you. Harry Reeves.
Good evening, council members, mayor. I reside at 1521 Northwest 168 Terrace. I stand here today and thanking you, Vice Mayor, for pulling 12-1 so that the community can further their conversation and come to an agreement and the people's voice can be heard. Again, thank you. Happy holidays to all of you.
No more public comments. Public comments are now closed.
We're now into ordinances on for first reading. Item 8.1, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida. Creating Chapter 6, Article 4 of the Code of Ordinances related to rental properties, a copy of which is attached here too as Exhibit A, providing for adoption representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing a severability clause, providing for including in code, providing an effective date, and this is sponsored by the City Manager.
Mr. Manager.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, I'm happy the Deputy City Manager explain the ordinance. And I think afterwards, the city attorney has an amendment that she'd like to propose.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council, Craig Clay, Deputy City Manager. The item before you, Ordinance 8.1, several years ago, the Florida Legislature preempted cities from regulating vacation rentals. So while the city is preempted from regulating these rentals, we are implementing, or we can implement, a registration process, which this does. It would allow the city to be proactive with any potential public safety issues, inform landlords of any rules pertaining to noise, trash, and other items. So we ask that that you approve this item and allow us to implement the registration process. Attorney Dickens.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I would like to ask for an amendment to the item, a motion to amend Section 6172A regarding the annual fee to be charged. I need to amend that to say that the annual fee will be established by separate resolution.
There's a motion on that.
I move the item.
No, move that. I need that part, not the item.
She need that part.
Motion on that.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Thank you.
All right, now I need a motion on this item.
Motion.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion from the dais on this item? Showing no discussion. Mr. Clerk, you'll call the roll.
Councilwoman Campbell? Councilman Leon?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson? Councilwoman Julian?
Yes.
Councilman Stevens?
Yes.
Mayor Harris?
I vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0. We're now on to ordinances for second reading and public hearing. Item 9.1, an ordinance to City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending the residential area boundaries, provided the new residential area boundaries of the City Council following the results of the 2020 United States Census, officially delineating the boundaries of each residential area as set forth in Option 1, attached here to is Exhibit A, providing for adoption representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing severability clause, providing for inclusion in code, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by the City Clerk.
Mr. Clerk?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is the second reading of the residential area boundaries amendment. At the first reading, Council selected Option 1, which was presented. There has been no changes since that meeting outside of putting that selection on the item, and we ask that the Council go ahead and approve this item.
Need a motion on this item?
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. It's open for discussion. No discussion. It's also public comment. Public comment on this item is open. Mr. Clerk, did you receive any written communication on this item?
No written communication, Mayor.
Showing none, public comment is closed. We've already had a motion that's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
We can do a roll call.
Do a roll call? All right.
Councilman Leon?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian?
Yes.
Councilman Stevens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell? Mayor Harris?
I vote yes.
Motion passes 5-1. We're now on to the consent agenda. 11.1, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, confirming Mayor Rodney Harris' appointment of Councilman Reggie Leon and Gail Olivia Cunningham to the Charter Revision Commission in accordance with Section 6.2 of the City of Miami Gardens Charter, providing for adoption of reputation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Mayor Rodney Harris. Item 11.2, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, directing the city manager to develop a Miami Gardens vacant property acquisition program, VPAP, and providing for adoption of representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson. Item 11.3, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, confirming Vice Mayor Wilson's appointment of Aaron Taylor to the Charter Revision Commission in accordance with Section 6.2 of the City of Miami Gardens Charter, providing for adoption of representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson. Item 11.4, resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, confirming Councilman Reggie Leon's appointment of Paul Wilson to the Charter Revision Commission in accordance with Section 6.2 of the City of Miami Gardens Charter, providing for adoption of reputation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Reggie Leon. Item 11.5, resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating $4,000 from Councilman Reggie Leon's Formula One Community Fund account to support community holiday activities and educational initiatives, providing for adoption of reputation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Leon. Item 11.6, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, directing the city manager, city clerk to execute and attest respectively that certain third addendum attached hereto is Exhibit A in substantial form to that certain lease agreement with New Urban Development, LLC, for the construction of senior housing on city-owned property generally located at northwest corner of Northwest 12th Avenue and Northwest 183rd Street, providing for adoption of representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Leon. Item 11.7, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Councilman Reggie Leon's Formula One Community Funds in an amount not to exceed $1,000 in support of the Andover Middle School Golden Eagles cheerleaders, providing for adoption of reputation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Leon. Item 11.8, a resolution of City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Councilman Reggie Leon's Formula One Community Fund account in an amount not to exceed $3,000 in support of Miami Northern Senior High School Top Achiever Celebration Luncheon, non-pro temp, providing for adoption of representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Leon. Item 11.9, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating $1,000 from Councilman Reggie Leon's Formula One Community Fund account, non-pro tongue, in support of the annual community food distribution and turkey drive held on November 8, 2023, providing for adoption of rotation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Reggie Leon. Item 11.10, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, confirming Councilwoman Shannon Lady Iguodara's appointment of Linda Holloway to the Charter Revision Commission in accordance with Section 6.2 of the City of Miami Gardens Charter, providing for adoption of rotation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Shannon Iguodara. Item 11.11, resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, confirming Councilwoman Linda Julian's appointment of Elizabeth Mays to the Charter Revision Commission in accordance with Section 6.2 of the City of Miami Gardens Charter, providing for adoption of representation, providing for an effective date, and is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian. Item 11.12, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Councilwoman Linda Julian, Seat 5, Formula 1 Community Benefit Account in an amount of $7,320.21, non-pro ton, for the Miami Foundation's annual Give Miami Day, providing for adoption and representation, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian. Item 11.13, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds in an amount of $1,111.25 from Councilwoman Linda Julian's Public Affairs and Special Events account, non-pro ton, in support of her annual Thanksgiving home delivery turkey distribution, provided for adoption and representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian. Item 11.14, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, confirming Councilman Robert Stevens' appointment of Latoya Porter to the Charter Revision Commission in accordance with Section 6.2 of the City of Miami Gardens Charter, providing for adoption and representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Robert Stevens III. Item 11.15, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving the recommendations from the City of Miami Gardens State Housing Initiative Partnership, SHIP and Parent, Affordable Housing Advisory Committee, AHAC and Parent, in the Incentive Strategy Review Report, a copy of which is attached here to is Exhibit A, providing for adoption and representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the City Manager. Item 11.16, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the City Manager to enter into an agreement with Avenue Insight and Analytics, LLC, to provide services for monitoring a short-term rental within the City of Miami Gardens by relying on that City of Blanco, Texas competitive solicitation agreement and pursuant to Section 2-757, subsection B, subsection 2 of the City of Miami Gardens Code of Ordinances, authorize the City Manager and City Clerk to execute and attest respectively that first addendum to the Avenues Insights and Analytics, LLC, Consultant Service Piggyback Agreement, a copy of which is attached here to is Exhibit A, provided for adoption and representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the City Manager. Item 11.17, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the City Manager to issue purchase orders to Enviro Waste Services Group, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $200,000 annually by relying on the Town of Davie competitive solicited contract number ITB-RM-2020. Copy of which is attached here to is Exhibit A, providing for adoption and representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the City Manager. Item 11.18, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, adopting the National Institute of Technology and Standard Cyber Security Framework as required by Florida Statute 282.3185, enacted in 2022, providing for adoption and representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the City Manager. Item 11.19, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorize the City Manager and City Clerk to execute and attest respectively that certain agreement with the State of Florida Office of the State Attorney for the 11th Judicial Circuit of Florida to reimburse the state for the cost of state attorney prosecution of certain criminal violations of the City of Miami Gardens Code of Ordinances, non-part to October 1, 2022-23. Attached here to is Exhibit A, providing for adoption and representation, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the City Attorney. Item 11.20, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, confirming Councilwoman Shannon Campbell's appointment of Linda Mobley to the Charter Revision Commission in accordance with Section 6.2 of the City of Miami Gardens Charter, providing for adoption and representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Shannon Campbell. Item 11.21, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing an allocation of $2,120 from Mayor Rodney Harris's special events account to cover services provided by Launcha Music for the Miami-Dade County League of Cities meeting held on Thursday, November 2, 2023. Non-pro ton, providing for adoption and representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Mayor Rodney Harris, and that is your consent agenda.
I need a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, show the consent agenda passes. Mario, you could drink some water.
Good job.
We keeping on with the pace. Going to go on to the quasi-judicial zoning hearings agenda disclosures.
Good evening and welcome to the quasi-judicial portion of the December 13th, 2023 City Council meeting. For those persons that will or may be speaking on an item on the agenda or commenting on any item, please stand up and be sworn in by the clerk. For the applicants, your item will be called to order by agenda number and by the title of your request. When your item is called, please approach the microphone, and when addressed, please speak directly and clearly, stating your name and address for the record, and explain the reason for your request. Note that all exhibits presented to the mayor and the council will become part of the public record.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
can I go ahead and poll the council on Jennings' disclosure?
go ahead.
Councilman Stevens, have you had any ex parte communication on this item, and will your decision tonight be solely based on the evidence presented before you? Sorry. Have you had any ex parte communication?
No.
And will your decision tonight be solely based on the evidence presented before you?
Yes.
Councilman Leon, have you had any ex parte communication on this item? Okay. Councilwoman Julian, have you had any ex parte communication on this item?
No.
And will your decision tonight be solely based on the evidence presented before you?
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell, have you had any ex parte communication on this item? And will your decision tonight be solely based on the evidence presented before you? Vice Mayor Wilson, have you had any ex parte communication on this item?
No.
And will your decision tonight be solely based on evidence presented before you?
Yes, sir.
Mayor Harris, have you had any ex parte communication on this item?
No.
And will your decision tonight be solely based on evidence presented before you?
Yes.
All right, we're on to item 13.2, ordinances on for second reading and public hearing. Item 13.2.1, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, rezoning that certain property located in Northwest 43rd Court and south of Northwest 205th Street in Miami Gardens, Florida. More particularly described in Exhibit A attached here to from architectural and utilities, AU in paren, to single-family dwelling residential, R-1 in paren. Providing for adoption representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing severability clause, providing for inclusion in code, providing for effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager. This is a public hearing.
Mr. Manager?
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, there are no changes from the first reading, so staff still recommends approval for this item. Thank you.
Public hearing on this item. Any public comments on this item?
Mr. Mayor, Council, Honorable Councilmen and women, my name is Sharon Frazier Stephen, 1451 Northeast 193rd Street. I'm looking at this quasi-judicial because I was always told by the former, that's now deceased mayor, even if you see a quasi-judicial hearing, even if you're not going to speak on it, but if you might have a suggestion that you might want to speak on it, that you should stand up and swear in. They say, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help me God. That's why I'm swearing in. What I see, I know is for clarity, Mr. Mayor, and whoever sponsored, which is the city manager, whoever sponsored is about housing, right? Okay? Are these affordable housing? Are they workforce housing? Are they fair living wage housing? Which fair living wage is workforce housing, because I happen to ride on 119, District 2. Has nothing to do with Miami Gardens, but just riding in the community. District 2, not seat 2, District 2's County Commission seat, District 2, Marlene Bastine. And I happened to go to 119th Street, and I saw about 50 single-family homes, 500,000. Then I called the lady, and I wanted to rent a townhouse. I asked her how much was she renting. She said $3,200. So I called Lennar Development, and I asked him how much is the townhouses. The man said, no, the lady, she said $500,000. I said, well, wait a minute here. $500,000 for a townhouse that's connected to another unit? So if their townhouse catch on fire, my townhouse will catch on fire too. And it's the same amount of the single-family homes. That don't add up. That don't add up. So what I'm standing up here saying is that we have to start holding these developers accountable. All that, we fighting about Israel and Palestine, we're fighting about Ukraine and Russia, and people coming from everywhere else into our community with no disrespect, and they genociding our community. Where is the AMI in this area? What is the AMI? Because a lot of our people up here don't make no $100-some thousand to be buying these $500,000 and $600,000, $250,000 houses. So that I was just bringing that, for notification for you guys to look into that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I need a motion on this item.
Motion.
Been moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Vice Mayor Wilson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian,
Yes.
Councilman Stevens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell, Councilman Leon,
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0. We're now on to the reports of the city manager, city attorney, and city clerk.
Mr. Manager?
Mr. Mayor, the only report I have is that I want to take this opportunity to wish my oldest daughter a happy birthday today. That's it.
Happy birthday,
Thank you.
Papa.
I don't have a report.
Mr. Clerk?
No report.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. This time you said it with your chest, Mr. Manager. let me first and foremost, before I dive into my report, let me wish everyone a happy holiday. And it is my prayers that you and your family have a prosperous new year. Remember, this time of the year is slated to spend with your loved ones, enjoy your family and your friends. But most importantly, I encourage you all to take some time to look at our city holistically and enjoy all that the city of Miami Gardens has to offer, from our park and recreational centers to our restaurants, our retail stores. The city has made some major strides over this last year, these last 12 months in the year of 2023. And I encourage you during this time to take advantage of it, spend it with the family and your friends, but most importantly, brag about the great things that the city of Miami Gardens has to offer. My colleagues and I, along with our city administration, has worked tireless to ensure that Miami Gardens continue to be the city that you want to live, work, and play in. Very briefly, my report is as follows. Starting at the top of January 2024, we would kick off our annual fitness challenge. Myself, Councilman Leon, as well as our chairman, our commissioner for District 1, Chairman Gilbert. That would start on January 8th to February 24th at the Betty T. Ferguson Recreational Complex. The kickoff date will be January 6th at 8 a.m. That information would be hitting our airways as far as our social media platform as well as our email blast very, very, very soon. So please be on the lookout for that. And then I also want to bring your attention back to the Miami Gardens City University Partnership. Classes will officially begin on January 29th. Enrollment is open now through the Miami-Dade College institution, as well as Florida Memorial University. We're offering 2 general courses now that anyone is eligible to take, and that is preparing for student success and introduction to computer technology and applications. And then we're also offering a business specialist certificate program. This program will consist of 4 classes and prepare students for employment in the various business areas. Successful completers are eligible to participate in graduation ceremony at Miami-Dade College, completing this 4-course certificate program for business. So take full advantage as we continue to work to making education accessible and affordable in the Miami Gardens community. For more information about our City University Partnership, you can visit our city's webpage, look for City University Partnership, and it has all of the information as it relates to the point of contact and the programs that we are offering through the City University Partnership. And then stay tuned, because at the top of the new year, I'll be taking seniors on a movie outing. I want to call it a movie date to see the highly anticipated Color Purple new movie that's hitting out. So y'all stay tuned to that, because that's a first come, first served basis. So make sure you all stay connected to the office, my office, and our social medias to get updates on what's happening in our city. As always, may God bless and keep you as my prayers, and it is my prayers that I see you in the new year. Thank you.
Councilman Leon?
Real quick, as we bring 2023 to a close, I just want to thank, Parks and Recreation, PD, special events, legislative analysts, city clerk, city attorney, deputy clerk, Renita Nelson. I think I read somewhere that we did almost 1.5 million people in 2023 visited the city of Miami Gardens between the stadium and the events that we put on as a whole. And to be able to bring that many people through our city says a lot about our culture and what we can do. So again, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. See you next year.
Councilwoman Julie?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor.
Welcome.
Just as a point of clarity for the gentleman who had the challenge or actually the concern about the school needing to be painted, you can reach out to your school board member because they oversee everything dealing with the schools. So just so you guys know that City Council, we don't have jurisdiction over schools, but the school board members do. And so you can reach out to your school board member about any concerns that you have as it relates to any of the Miami-Dade County Public Schools, okay? On Monday, my office held our annual science fair and competition at St. Thomas University. And there were over 150 students who participated. And as a continuation to the science fair, yesterday evening we held the science fair award ceremony, and we had ourselves a STEM-tastic time. Students with the top science projects walked away with monetary prizes. I'd like to thank our mayor and council for their support on this venture and initiative. Thank you to city staff for all of your efforts, for all of the effort that you put into making this day a reality. I'd also like to thank St. Thomas University, Dibia Dream, Verizon Wireless, and the Miami Dolphins for their partnership. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., my office is hosting our Workforce Development and Job Placement Recruiting session at Bennett Lifter Park, located at 20701 Northwest 22nd Place. This is open to students ages 16 to 19. Career exposure and professional development training in aviation, healthcare, technology, construction, logistics, engineering, public service, hospitality, and tourism will be offered. Seniors who are 62 and older, get your golden ticket art guide and attend these events. They are free to you, okay? So this is for you, 62 and older. There are tons of events happening throughout Miami-Dade County. You can go and enjoy a play, go as a group, go with your seniors group, but take advantage of this. It's free. It is free. So take advantage. To our staff, the city of Miami Gardens as a whole, I want to say thank you for a joyous 2023. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I look forward to a more prosperous 2024. And that ends my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Campbell.
Mr. Mayor, good evening to all. I first want to start out with a reflection on November 15th. It was a Wednesday. There was heavy rain, very heavy rain. And the rain was just, there was some flooding. So I wanted to acknowledge the Parks and Rec Department and also Public Works, because that next day, that Thursday, the 16th, they were at it. They kept the city clean. They were picking up branches. They were out there checking and looking. They had the big truck out there. I don't know what it's called. Just vacuuming up the water. They were out there very active. So I want to give Public Works and Parks and Rec their due, because they really kept the city on point and looked good and clean amidst a storm, a little minor storm that we had that Wednesday before. So kudos to those departments, and thank you for your work and your service. And to the two gentlemen, because it was brought to my attention that I didn't really acknowledge the gentleman, I hope you guys enjoy your token of my appreciation, okay? That's our little secret. Moving forward, I also want to thank the Betty T. Ferguson staff. Oh my God. MGPD. They did an amazing job. I recently had an Art Basel car show. It was totally, totally awesome. And I tip my hat to those people who made it all come together. And I want to do a real special acknowledgement of Nicole Williams and Wintana Stefanos. If y'all two could stand up, please. I want to really acknowledge these two ladies. They're new to the city. When I say They work they blank off. They work they blank off.
The blank.
And y'all can fill in the blank. But they did. They made it do what it do. Ladies, I commend you. They came in. They were ready. They were locked and loaded. And it was just like we had been working together for years. So thank you. And I also hope you enjoy my token of appreciation to you, because I do appreciate you. That part. So now, speaking of the car show, I want to thank Mayor Daniela Levine Cava. She came through, you know, me and her hopped into some cars. We had a good time. So I want to thank Mayor Daniela Levine Cava. I also want to thank Mayor Desume. He came through. And I also want to thank T.T. Terry. Y'all look her up. T.T. Terry, me being a former four-sport athlete. Let me say that again. I am a former four-sport athlete. That's not heard of. You may find 2, but not 4. Okay, ask somebody about that. So, I want to say T.T. Terry, that's a bad young lady. Y'all research her, look her up. She is a gold medalist. She came out to the toy drive. She supported it. So we're going to be able to take care of a lot of families. She bought some toys, y'all. When I say I appreciate her, she's right here from the Liberty City area, Northwestern graduate. I know you like that right there. I know the mayor likes that.
Calm down.
But she came out, did her thing. She interacted. She did TikToks with the kids. Oh, we just had a grand old time. So I want to give a big shout out to T.T. Terry. She is an Olympian. Y'all look her up, and we're going to support her and cheer for her because she's going to be competing in the upcoming Olympics in Paris, I believe it is. Okay. We had people come from, we always up here on the dais, sit up here and say, Miami Gardens is where you want to be. We want to attract people. Okay. I know I'm like Robert tonight. I'm sorry, Councilman Stevens tonight. I'm taking a long time, that part. So with that being said, at the car show, we did have people from Houston, LA, Atlanta, Tampa. So Miami Gardens is that place to be. So we're going to continue that. Already getting calls about next year, so I'm super excited about it. And we're going to keep that magic route running on. And I want to thank 2 more people as it relates to the car show. Then I'm going to move on. I have to thank my new analyst, Lauren Smith. She did that. She was all over the place. I mean, she took it all in. She did an amazing job. I want to give her due because she is due. And I don't do that too often. That's right. But she did that. And I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And the last person I want to thank as it relates to the Art Basel Car Show, our city clerk. Yes. Yes. I ain't gonna put your business in the street, but he is due. He stepped in and he had my back. And let me tell you, I'm gonna take my glasses off for that one. That meant a lot to me. I'm telling you. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Now, bingo for my seniors. I've moved the time because of the time change. So bingo is now at 4:30. We had a packed house last night. We did our holiday edition. So we had a grand old time. So for those that want to come and join bingo on the second Tuesday of the month, the time is 4:30. Okay? Put that in your memo and on your calendars. Come out 4:30 at Buccaneer Park. Now, last thing I'm going to say is I have the toy drive. Like I said, we collected so many toys, and toys are still coming in. And if you want to donate toys, call my office. We'll take them. We're going to be taking care of Miami Gardens residents only. That part. Okay? So come on out December 19th. We'll be at Buccaneer Park starting at 4 o'clock. Okay, and I got some extra stuff, but I don't want to put it out there because I don't want y'all to come for that. Come with your kids in the car. It's still a drive-through for safety. Come on out with your kids. We're going to take care of them. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, because I am going to enjoy mine. I have a birthday coming up, so y'all give me some birthday shout-outs.
Happy birthday.
And I am going to rest, because when the new year hit, I'm locked and loaded. That ends my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Vice Mayor.
Yes. Before I begin with my final comments, there are a couple of things that I'd like to say. You know, I take a tremendous amount of pride in being a councilwoman in this city that I grew up in. And you guys know that I love Miami Gardens with all my heart, and I love Myrtle Grove Park, which is where I grew up. And whenever I take on a project in that area, it starts in my heart, and it goes next to the people. One of the difficult things about leadership is trying to do the best thing that satisfies everyone. And oftentimes that's highly impossible, because some people don't want to compromise. They just want their way. You have to be able to have learned to accept that we can disagree, that sometimes there is an answer when you're given multiple answers that says all of the above are correct. And simply because your answer is not chosen doesn't mean that it's the wrong answer. It means that it just wasn't chosen. And it doesn't mean that because it wasn't chosen that you have to slander somebody, that you have to tell lies, that you have to misrepresent, that you have to seek to assassinate characters. You don't have to do that. Nobody has to do it. So I want to say to the residents of Residential C4, thank you for not doing that. Thank you for coming in and allowing your voices to be heard. Thank you for coming in and acknowledging the fact that others disagreed with you. Thank you for coming in and pushing and being active enough to remain the course on what you believe to be right, because I certainly do, the same as you. Myrtle Grove is an area just like all of Miami Gardens. It has an intelligentsia of people who advocate hard for what they believe in. It has a cadre of individuals that want to fight for the things that they believe in. But I encourage everybody, come to meet me Mondays. Come to meet me Sundays when we have it. Come on out and hear what all of the residents are saying. And then what you will know is that everybody has been given a chance to be heard. It doesn't mean, though, that you're going to have your way. It never means that. So I've accepted that some things didn't go my way, but it doesn't mean that I will stop working, advocating, giving, dreaming, believing, and doing what I believe is right. I am ready to stand accountable to anyone based on that, because I live with me, I live with you, and I live what I do every single day. We don't have to disrespect one another to disagree. And so, let me take a drink of water on that one. And so, Myrtle Grove Elementary K-8, we will have our Christmas celebration with the children. And that will be on Wednesday of next week. We would enjoy you coming out and sharing with us as we distribute toys for our youngsters, and we have a wonderful time with them. This is our second annual toy giveaway. We will be taking our seniors to the Adrian Arts Center to see the Blind Boys of Alabama Christmas story. Please make sure that if you desire to come, that you sign up. You can call Jamal or you can respond via email. And we are trying to get a bus, another bus, because we have over 132 residents who have registered. If you have not registered, please understand that the seats are minimal and they are on a first come, first served basis. We will also have our annual Prosperity Basket giveaway. This is the 5th annual Prosperity Basket giveaway that we will be having this year. Always remember that this basket is a very, very special basket because it is rooted in many practices of our ancestors here in America and in Africa. The items in that basket are symbolize certain things that hopefully will engender a positive year for the person who prepares it. It will include black-eyed peas and rice, which is to symbolize good health and abundance. It will include collard greens, which symbolizes good luck and wealth for the new year. It will have skillet cornbread, which is for gold and wealth for your families. It will have pork, which is a spiral cut ham from Costco, which pork represents motion and forward progress. It will have a baked good in there that is something very, very sweet, which is designed to wish you sweetness for the new year. These prosperity baskets will be available to you at Walt Frazier Park on Saturday, December 23rd, beginning at 10 a.m. You can respond to Jamal if you would like to get your voucher in advance, and you will be able to come at 10. It's drive-through. You don't have to get out of your car, and we will put it in your car. Our hope is that as you prepare your meal, that you will meditate over it, and you will think on the things that you desire for your family, for your community, for yourself. And as you meditate on those things, we believe with you that so it will be. It is my wish from my home to yours, from this dais to you, that God will bless your family with good health, with strength, with prosperity, and most importantly, with love. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vice Mayor. As you guys know, this is the end of the year. This is our last council meeting until the new year. I just wanted to give an update on this past year. This past May, the city of Miami Gardens celebrated its 20th anniversary. In just 20 years, we took a dirt field and transformed it into a world-class entertainment destination with a thriving economy and a community with a lot of heart. From the Super Bowl to the Miami Tennis Open to Formula One, every world-class sporting event takes place right here in Miami Gardens. Some of the largest businesses relocating in South Florida are coming here to Miami Gardens. Today, there are national chains anchoring major intersections, new building developments are going up, and top-selling auto dealers are operating in the city. Collectively, these advancements create opportunities for our residents, creating jobs and contributes to the economy vitality of our businesses. The city continues to improve its financial situation, and for the 11th consecutive year, we were able to hold the millage rate steady at 6.936%. Miami Gardens boasts an A3 credit rating with Moody's and a AA with Fitch. Our city's financial health is strong, with a 14.9% growth in taxable value, and that's for every $1 million the city has invested in the community, it has realized a return of $17 million. A cornerstone priority for the city is to improve our residents' quality of life by enhancing our physical environment and creating venues for engagement and interaction. As of September, 70% of the projects in the $60 million general obligation bond program have been completed, fulfilling the promises made in 2014, this year. This year, we opened 2 new facilities, Bennett Lifter Park and Dr. Lester Brown Park. We also broke ground on Brentwood Park, which will be renovated to include a new playground, walking trail, fitness stations, and pavilions. Community enhancements like beautifying curbs and gutters, housing improvements, and improvements to our street lights are also coming to fruition. In October, we broke ground on the Northwest 7th Avenue Streetscape Improvements Project that would not only include additional lanes to ease traffic, but other improvements including drainage, improved sidewalks and ADA ramps, landscaping, and irrigation. Under the Housing Rehabilitation Program, 40 homeowners received assistance with replacing their roofs, windows, air conditioners, water heaters, exterior painting, and driveways. Through the funds we received from the Memorandum of Understanding with Formula One Racing, the city continued the Senior Beautification Program. We created a small business assistance fund and distributed a total of $50,000 in scholarships to college-bound seniors from Miami Northern Senior High and Miami Carroll City Senior High School. Public safety remains a top priority for the city of Miami Gardens. Our police department continues to invest in programs, resources, and technological advancements to enhance our sense of security. In addition to the state-of-the-art real-time crime center, just last week the department unveiled its recently acquired high-tech mobile command center. This is one of the latest investments made by the city to empower our police officers to better serve and protect our community. Miami Gardens is continuing to experience a period of growth and development. The Calder site is being transformed, and other projects are either in the progress or in the pipeline. These projects include multifamily developments, medical facilities, retail spaces, and industrial sites, and have an estimated value of approximately $1 billion. As we look to the future, new shops and restaurants will soon all be on 27th Avenue in the entertainment corridor home. Also in the works, the 5-acre site across from City Hall will become a thriving development, and the 35-acre site will be developed into a city center featuring 2 hotels, market rate apartments, entertainment venue, and the world's first Formula One museum. The 3.68 acres adjacent to City Hall, the Pace District, will become home to a performing arts center with a culinary arts program and a boutique hotel. The addition of multiple hotels will finally allow visitors to stay in Miami Gardens rather than going to neighboring communities, which will also provide jobs and careers for our residents. Miami Gardens is a city on the rise, filled with promise, progress, and opportunity. Our commitment to our community, our focus on public safety, infrastructure development, and our thriving local economy are the principles upon which we build our city's future. We are a city of resilience, growth, and innovation. And I want to extend my gratitude to our dedicated city council, our charter officers, the employees, and most importantly, our residents for their continued support. Together, we will continue to build a brighter future for the city of Miami Gardens, a beacon of progress and prosperity. And that ends my report for this year. I also want to take the opportunity to congratulate our Miami New Orleans Vikings for going to the state championship. We came up a little bit short, but if you see those kids out there, congratulate them on a job well done. I also want to congratulate our 12U and 10U national championship teams on the Miami Gardens Ravens for becoming national champions. We have a young man who grew up in this community right on the other side of this wall. He's a new member of our city. I don't know if we had the opportunity to introduce George, but George Wright, could you please stand up? George is a new employee with the city of Miami Gardens. He's one of our own. He grew up right across the wall right here. So welcome, George, and we appreciate you. So we want to just say God bless you guys and have a happy holiday. May he keep you in his presence, in his arms, and build a hedge of protection around you. And we look forward to continuously serving you in the upcoming new year. May God bless you and keep you. That's my prayer. That's my report. I need a motion to adjourn. Been moved and seconded.